Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Tanr Gambatar. And for top stories, fundraising event was held in Australia. The International Conference on Women, Peace and Security, strengthening the role of women in peacekeeping, starts on June 16th. The President of Mongolia, Ukhnaa, received the Chinese ambassador. And for the news, stay tuned. Family Fun Day 2022 fundraising event was organized in Australia. Untitled Australia, a non-governmental organization, has been organizing the fundraising event since 2021. This year's event was funded by the Bridge Blue Mongolia Educational Center.
As part of the fundraising event, musical performances by Mongolian artists, throat singers, folk dancers were presented to visitors. The Educational Center Bridge Blue Global joined hands with the event organizers to raise funds for the establishment of psychotherapy and psychology centers at the shelter houses of the Untitled NGO.
The main purpose of this event is to raise funds for establishing a psychotherapy center at the Untitled shelter house. In addition, we are planning to build a new shelter house in the Untitled region.
We are happy to be contributing to this positive initiative dedicated to the well-being of children from our annual savings. We are planning to further contribute to Untitled NGO's initiatives.
Be there for you.
We produce platters under the name Be There For You, and we plan to donate our sales income to the activities of the Untitled NGO. The Untitled NGO works to eradicate human trafficking and protect children from violence, neglect, abuse and exploitation in Mongolia. Currently, the Australian branch has 17 members.
The Ministry of Defense of Mongolia and the General Staff of the Mongolian Armed Forces, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Strategic Studies Institute of Mongolia, are hosting an international conference on women, peace and security, strengthening the role of women in peacekeeping from the 16th to 18th of June 2022 in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, under the auspices of President of Mongolia, Ukhnaa.
During the conference, representatives from different countries and the UN Department of Peacekeeping Operations, UN Women and other related international organizations will moderate plenary sessions on several topics. Discussions will mainly focus on sharing lessons learned from past operations, experiences on how to overcome challenges, best practices, and future opportunities. In 1999, Mongolia and the UN signed a Memorandum of Understanding concerning its contributions to the United Nations Standby Arrangements. In 2002, Mongolia adopted a law on the participation of military and police personnel in UN peacekeeping operations and other international operations and began to contribute military observers to UN peacekeeping missions. This year marks the 20th anniversary of Mongolia taking part in UN peacekeeping operations. Since 2002, Mongolia has deployed more than 90,000 peacekeepers to the UN peacekeeping operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo, Sierra Leone, Chad, South Sudan, Western Sahara, Congo, Ethiopia, and Georgia. As of August 2021, Mongolian military observers have served in Congo, Western Sahara, and South Sudan. The first Mongolian female soldier joined a UN peacekeeping mission in 2006 as an unarmed military observer to the UN mission for the referendum in the Western Sahara. As part of the Conference on Women, Peace and Security, United Nations Under-Secretary-General for Peace Operations Jean-Pierre Lacroix will pay an official visit to Mongolia. The three-day international conference will be hosted in the Shangri-La Hotel and the Five Hills Peacekeeping Training Center.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The President of Mongolia, U.KHURELSUKH Ukhnaa, received the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Mongolia, Chai Wen-rui, on June 13th. The ambassador conveyed Chinese President Xi Jinping's letter of greetings addressed to the President of Mongolia. Ambassador Chai stressed that even during the pandemic, friendly relations and cooperation have been developing in all areas, including politics, humanitarian relations, and regional issues. He praised Mongolia's Billion Tree National Campaign, initiated by President of Mongolia, for its valuable contribution in protecting the world's environment and combating climate change. President G.CANBAYAR Ukhnaa thanked the ambassador and noted that Mongolia is committed to actively expanding relations and cooperation with China within the framework of its foreign policy priorities. He also thanked the government of the People's Republic of China for providing 31 million RMB in medicines, medical supplies, and equipment to Mongolia during the pandemic. Although the unstable international situation and the pandemic are ongoing, the two sides exchanged views on reviving economic and transport logistics and trade cooperation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs G.CANBAYAR received movie actor MNB, who was appointed as the cultural envoy of Mongolia, and presented him with his certificate. MNB has made a valuable contribution to the development of Mongolian modern film and art industry and has been working to connect Mongolian artists to the foreign entertainment industry market. During his tenure as Mongolian cultural envoy, he expressed his readiness to do his best to promote the culture and tradition and to contribute to promoting Mongolia abroad.
Here's the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at our regular feature on sports. The last matches of the Asian Football Confederation Asian Cup Group B qualifier took place yesterday on June 14th. Mongolia, Palestine, Yemen and the Philippines were included in Group B. In the last match of the preliminary round, Mongolia beat Yemen 2-0, in which CANBAYAR scored both goals. The Mongolian national team, which is in Group B of the Asian Cup organized by the Asian Football Confederation, played its last Group A match against Yemen yesterday. The national team took the initiative from the beginning of the match, and CANBAYAR scored the first goal from goalkeeper Muhirtin's assist. CANBAYAR scored his second goal right after the start of the second half. The match ended in a 2-0 victory for Mongolia, who finished third in the group with 3 points. After the match, U.KHURELSUKH, the head coach of the Mongolian national team, said, "We are happy to have won 2-0. The guys tried and played very well. Mongolian football is playing more defensively. Our future is bright and we tried to score. We achieved our goal and won." U.KHURELSUKH won his first match with the Mongolian national team. As a result, the Palestinian team led Group B with 3 wins and 9 points. They beat Mongolia 1-0 in the first leg, then Yemen 5-0, and today the Philippines 4-0. The Philippines, who drew 0-0 with Yemen in the first match and beat Mongolia 1-0 in the second match, finished second in the group with 4 points. Yemen, ranked 35th above Mongolia, finished last in the group with 1 point, while our national team finished third with 3 points. Palestine and Philippines played for the only right to participate in the Asian Cup. Palestine, who beat Yemen 5-0 in the previous game, did well again, beating the Philippines. They scored 3 of their 4 goals with a header. Palestine advanced to Group B with 3 wins and no losses. Here's the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.